Hi, welcome to Cooking with Levi, the long-awaited sequel. Today, we will be making omelets. I'll show you how. First, we're gonna need some eggs, because that's the first step in an omelet. We need some peppers, bell peppers, so they're not spicy, an onion, baby bell mushrooms, Johnsonville brats, you'll see where those come in, Tabasco, and other seasonings of your choice like parsley, and cheese, pepper, and some ham. We're going to start with our meat for the omelet. We are using brats because they're pretty much little sausages, and if you split them open, like just make a small incision right there, the layer of skin comes off just like that, and you're left with just the brat meat, which is pretty much pork. Then you have this on, a little bit of pan cooking, just in case. The grease should do most of the work. And break it up into little bits as you throw it in the pan. Don't have it too hot or it'll cook too fast. Just throw it in little bits at a time. And eventually I'll do it with the rest of those. See, once again, you just take the brat, cut along the side, just a small incision or cut. Just get your finger up and under there and peel back the thin layer of skin right there. Once again, you just take a piece up, and once it gets harder and starts cooking, we'll take our spatula and chop it up a bit more to turn it into more of ground or whatever, ground up meat, and just use as much wood as possible. Okay, so we're going to just keep chopping it up while it's in here so it cooks. You gotta flip it too so it cooks on all sides and just doesn't cook on one side, or else you'll have raw pork, which will make people sick. It's pretty basic and easy stuff right now, but we will develop into more as we go on. As I'm cooking, I have my sleeves rolled up so I don't, first off, don't get my shirt dirty, and just to keep my clothing away from flames or sizzle. That's mostly, you have to use more than just one sense while cooking. First, you want to hear it sizzling, so you know it's cooking well and not my fingers. When you use your nose to make sure it's not burning, and you can just smell it. Ooh, listen to that sizzle. It's very nice. And you need to use your eyes to see that it's brown and doesn't have red spots in it to show that the meat is cooked and not raw. Keep mixing it though. It's kind of hard to burn this, so you should be good. Don't be afraid to cook it a little bit extra. That's all you need to know. We'll be moving on to the vegetable section of our omelet, which will be good. To bell peppers, you put your finger in the top and you peel it apart ever so gently, so you can take out the seeds, because those are pretty much no good. Just like that, once again. You just rip out the top, and you see. And we're ready over here. If you want also, rinse it out. Get all the little seeds out, unless you want to keep a few in there, just for some additional flavoring. Bell peppers aren't hot at all. They actually rank 0 on Scoville heat units. Some are actually rather sweet, and people eat them just as healthy snacks. Now, what we'll be doing is you'll just take a little slice and just do it in little sections like this. Now, you want to come closer if you need to. My good little sister Ellie is on the camera because she's been a great help. Now, to hold a knife, you never put your finger up here or thumb up here. Fingers always to the side, and you do a rocking motion. Always. If you want, you can line them up and just go. See, just line it up and go. Boop, then boop. So you can also, for items like garlic, you can use the side of the knife to do a crushing motion, but we aren't using garlic for today. along with other news things here in episode 2 of Cooking with Levi, we have a co-host, Chef Linguini.
Hello.
Chef Linguini now demonstrate how to use a knife. Yes, I would help you. First, you get the vegetables. You bring them over, just like that. That was magic. I used my mind. You grab the knife. Chef Linguini. Yes. His thumb's on the top of the blade. Oh, yeah. He's still in training. So you hold it on the side, and you do a rocking motion, just like that, to cut the vegetables. It'll make it easier to cut. My weak little puppet hands cannot cut as well as normal people. So Levi will continue doing the cooking. I thought you wanted to do this section. No. He will be back later to show us how to do spices and other mixtures. Now some parts of the bell pepper, you'll see these white parts right here. Those are pretty much just nothing and just pulp of the plant. So we can use a knife and cut right along those. And just cut them out and cut right along the top. We just take a knife, go across the top right there, and continue with our rocking motion, back and forth, just like that. Like that, spread to the side. I don't mind if my peppers get mixed because they'll all be in the same place anyway, and they're about the same size. And once again, just cut those little white parts out, just like that. Split the top right there. Cut the little white part out. Lay it flat. It's easier to lay it flat to cut it, because if you cut it this way, it will just cut down. Ooh, it actually cut. But sometimes it'll cut down and leave it like this and just dangly bits, and it won't cut all the way through. And you'll have to individually peel it. So this way, it actually cuts it. Now for the white parts right there, you might leave a lot of vegetable on the back. So if you want, you just cut right there and you just take the white part off without taking most of your fruit off. And it's nothing but that little white chunk. When you're initially cutting the bell pepper, this is actually kind of hard to get through with a knife. So if you want to cut it into strips, use the soft part first, and you can use it like that. So you don't go through and accidentally cut your fingers like I almost did. I'm a bad demonstrator at that, but yeah, use that soft part because it's just easier to get through. Then flip it down to this side where the hard part's on top, so it stays down easier, and you can cut through it easier. Just like that. Straight to the side and just go back and forth in a rocking motion. Just like that. Over, then just cut. Just like that.
Solid, dude.
These nasty white bits, you sometimes just don't want to leave them on the plate. So you can simply pick up the board, bring it over, and chuck them into the garbage can. And if you have extra, if you look at your bunch of peppers and you think, man, they're not chopped all the way, you can take it and just take your knife through and go. Just like that. I just opened this box of little bell mushrooms, baby bell mushrooms. So, since they came from the store, we're going to actually take them to the sink, cold water, and rinse them off. Just a little bit, set them there, and rinse. Just each little mushroom, because they could have gross stuff and you don't know what's on them when they just come out of the store. You want to do this with all your vegetables also. Not just one or two. You want to take all your vegetables. I already did it with the bell peppers and everything else. So, just demonstrating that you gotta take them, cold water, and scrub them off a little bit. Each one just a little scrub of the hand. Now I cleaned them off, they're all wet and it's kind of hard to chop them sometimes. So you can lay them out on a dry towel, go like this, and it will start to dry all the moisture out of them, or off of them, because they're easier to work with when they're not soaking wet, and they'll cook fast. Now mushrooms are kind of a weird shape, so you can't clean them kind of really. So I kind of just go wherever and just chop them up all over the place. You kind of just go like that. It will be easier to chop them like that. And you can even lay a whole bunch of them out like this and just go through and just chop them as you go. Now that we have it in the chopped little pile, we can just go through, get any bits we have left by just going back and forth. You can grab the top of the knife because that won't cut you. Just go like that, back and forth through the little pile of unchopped or already chopped mushrooms. They're just nice and fine. They're not really there for texture, so you don't have to worry about it. They're just there for add a little taste. And even one little container can give you a lot of mushrooms. So you can put it aside and use it later for either pizzas, stew, whatever you want to use it for, really. Now we're going to put in our vegetables. And I want a wee bit of olive oil. Just a wee bit. Not too much, because some vegetables make their own, pretty much have their own oils. And it will be pretty liquidy, but we're just using that so it doesn't stick. So it doesn't stick to the pan. Mix it around a little bit. And we'll just take this, put it on our hip or side, and just slide them in. Take it, rotate it, and just go. Put it in there, and just mix it around a bit. Before we start the flames for our vegetables, we gotta slice our onion. First, slice it down the middle. You slice it down the middle again. And you cut it into just little sections. And just like I previously showed, we'll take it and just do little motions. Little seesawing motions, back and forth. If you want, you can also chop it down smaller into little pieces. It's actually already watering up my eyes. People don't think that's actually true, but it actually is. You just go back and forth, just like this, into little pieces. Oh man. And just like the mushrooms, if you need to go back, you can go back and slice them like this. Remember, the more you slice, the more you're gonna probably like actually tear up and cry a little bit, because it actually goes through your nose, and which is connected to your eyes and affects those. There we go, back. I'll go back through later and chop those more. I'm going to cut this down. Place this down. Slide it, and once again do the chopping motion. Sometimes the outside won't get fully cut, so you can just lay that down and chop it a wee bit. Dude, I'm so sad. So sad. No, you're not sad. Why? It's just the onions. Oh yeah. Like in the movies. The onions. They make you cry. They make you cry and cry. Because it goes through your nose. And it makes me tear up in my little beady eyes. Makes me cry. Tears up. Just. Reminds me of like when I was a boy. Just tears up my eyes. Very sad. But it's not sad. It's tasty. And it's just science. Okay. Now we'll take our onion. It's actually making my eyes water quite a bit. And we'll slide it also into there. We'll take this. Mix everything around a little bit. Just to get it that nice. And mixed in so the flavors mix. What? Add a little bit of Tabasco. It won't make it super hot because it actually cooks out. It just adds mostly flavor. And we'll turn this heat up a little bit. And we'll also take our meat from earlier and put that in there. Just like that. And you mix it in. Just mix it. Just keep mixing it in so all the flavors combine to make one tasty meat and vegetable mixture. Just like so. mixing, just keep mixing. And now the onions, they don't make me tear up as much anymore because they are in the cook with everything else. Just keep mixing that. Can't even smell Tabasco sauce. Now, if you want, in this process, you can take a little bit of Italian seasoning if you want, because I like Italian seasoning, and just kind of sprinkle a little bit, not too much. If you want, at this point, you can also pour in just a little bit of pepper. You can mix that all in, or else it'll just sit on the top layer and not get to all parts of your meat and vegetable mixture. You just keep mixing this. It's nice and well mixed. Turn this down a little bit. Now, you might say, what does any of this have to do with make an omelet? We need something in the omelet to make it tasty. And you don't want to open the omelet back up after it's already done. Once it's folded, it should stay folded. So you might as well make it as good as possible. First try. Now we're on to the actual egg section, which right now so it cooks a little bit slower. Take the eggs, like so. Crack them on the side of the bowl. Split it open. Now, if you want with the shells, you can temporarily just set them back in there. Crack on the side of the bowl. And just like that. Set it in there for now. Take it over. Toss them out. Get the egg yolk off my hands. And I just use a fork. You can use a whisk if you want. I find it easy to use a fork. It mixes really well also if you have them in a jar, a mason jar, or some type of container. To shake it and mix it, and it does very well like that. But since I don't want to put it in a jar right now or find a jar, I would just mix it with my fork. Mix it. Now while this happens, make sure the stuff on the bottom doesn't burn, so you flip it every now and then. And then mix it up. Spread it around so everything cooks. It gets nice and tasty and mixes all together. And back to mixing. Just like that. Whisk it around. Now, you can start just like that. So pan, this will be our pan for our egg. Take Pam spray. Always take Pam spray or butter or any type of nonstick. So your egg doesn't stick to the pan and come out all floppy and weird. We'll have this around a 4 or 3 for here. We don't want it super high heat because it'll burn our egg too fast and it won't cook all the way through. Let's get some more. Just pour it in real nice. Just like that. At this point, you can take some parsley, which I like. It just mixes really well. Oop. It mixes really well. But see, you can take a fork from earlier if you dump into one spot and just mix it around. Now parsley is good because it's not overwhelming. Now if you have a spice like basil, that would be way too much basil because that would be really strong. But parsley, it's pretty nice. Even with your mouth. Take your pepper and just a little bit of pepper. Mix this right up. up a little bit, just so we can have that warmth. Now we want to put our cheese after we pour the egg. You don't want to mix your cheese in your egg, or else you might pull up your egg and cheese will be stuck to the bottom, and then it will just be sticky and hard to get out, and you won't have a clean pan to use for a second omelet if you're making multiple. So you always just sprinkle it on top. All around, so it's really good. So it'll also act as kind of like a glue to stick both sides of the omelet together. We don't have any fancy cheese, so we're just using a little piece of blend, mozzarella and cheddar, which does good. Yeah, cooking. Do multiple things at once. This is the most important part because you gotta keep in control of everything. Now I like a little bit of, just a little bit of spice in my egg. It doesn't cook out as much on the omelet, and it cooks out very well in here though, as it's directly in the heat. Now if I want, take a little bit of my meat mixture. Just, that's a nice little scoop right there. I just lay it on there. Real nice, like. Take a fork. Always keep a fork at hand. And just kind of spread that around. You don't want it too much meat or stuff on it, or else it'll be hard. So once again, fold it in half. As gonna see if it's all melted. Shake it around a little bit. See how much is melted. It can still cook a bit more. Just like that. Just like that. Take a tiny bit more of this. This is going to actually be probably hard to fold because there's so much on there, but I don't mind. Have a plate ready for the side. Check the bottom real quick. Scrape it up under there. Fold it in half. Don't be afraid, touch it, it won't burn that bad. And just lay it on a plate and turn up your heat. And there you have a perfectly cooked omelet. Here is my test subject, Ellie, as she tastes the omelet and see how it tastes. Genuine customer reaction.
It's really good. I don't really like onions and peppers or lots, but that's really good.
So it tastes good all together, even the onions and the peppers?
Oh, for sure.
What do you rate it out of 10?
10 out of 10. It's pretty good on it. I'm a mess.
And am I ready to go against Gordon Ramsay?
No.
I will be prepared one day. Here's mine. I cut it in half, shared it with my little. Here I have it on my plate, and now I'm going to try it. Just a little bit. Take a piece and just. It's all falling apart. It's hard to grab it sometimes with the fork. That's really good. It's always satisfying to eat what you cook, even if it's bad sometimes. And just it's fun to experiment in the kitchen, and you learn more as you spend more time in the kitchen. Like that movie Ratatouille, he says anyone can cook. That's pretty much true. Just tinker around the kitchen, you have fun. Just a little bit. It's got a wee hint of spice to it because of the Tabasco sauce. But it's a nice little kick in the end to bring it all together. It's got a nice. You want your omelet to have a nice little golden taste. It's okay if it's browned a little bit, because It's just a little bit of extra crunch. Well, otherwise, it's just okay to have a little bit burnt. Not bad. But this isn't burnt really at all. It's pretty good. And that's the end with Cooking with Levi on how to make an omelet. Thank you for watching Cooking with Levi. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be making more stuff, not just cooking videos. I'll be coming out with other random weird content as time goes on. Thank you.